All right, let's dive right in. Today we're exploring one of Christianity's biggest and most foundational ideas, the Father. Now, this is so much more than just a name. It's a concept that really tries to get at the very nature of existence itself. So, let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with this universal human question about a creator. Then we'll get specific about what the Father means in Christianity. We'll unpack 3 timeless truths, see how it all fits into the Holy Trinity, and then bring it all inward to a personal inner presence. And finally, we'll see how this core idea actually pops up in other spiritual paths too.
You know, for as long as people have been around, we've looked up at the stars and looked deep within ourselves and asked these huge questions. Where did all this come from? Is there a source, a creator? It's this deep human quest to understand where we come from.
And that universal quest leads us right to the heart of what we're talking about today. See, in the Christian tradition, this ultimate source is understood through a really specific and honestly revolutionary idea, the Father. But what does that actually mean?
This is key. In Christianity, calling God Father isn't just a title of respect. It completely reframes the entire relationship between us and the divine. It's all about moving from a feeling of being very far away to a feeling of being incredibly close.
And this right here is the big shift. Think about it. When Jesus taught people to start their prayers with "Our Father," he was doing something radical. He was basically saying, hey, stop thinking of yourselves as servants of some distant, powerful king. Instead, he introduced this incredible new idea. We're all children of a loving, caring parent. It's a total move from a hierarchy to a family.
And you can feel this intimacy in one single powerful word that Jesus used, Abba. It's an Aramaic word, and it's way closer to daddy or beloved parent than some formal title. Just choosing that word, it signals this tender, personal, and deeply loving connection, one that's not built on fear, but on family.
Okay, so if the Father is all about this loving source, what are the main principles that come with it? Well, the teachings we see from Christ can really be boiled down to 3 timeless truths.
And these 3 ideas are the bedrock. First, that love is the absolute center of everything. Second, that forgiveness isn't weakness, it's a divine strength. And third, that real faith gives you a profound kind of freedom. Let's take a quick look at each one.
So the first truth is really the most important one. The actual nature of the Father isn't about power or judgment. It's understood as pure, unconditional love. What this is saying is that when you live from a place of love, you are literally in sync with the divine source itself. The second truth is all about infinite mercy. And the famous parable of the prodigal son just illustrates this perfectly. It's not a story about getting punished for messing up. It's a story about a father who just waits with open arms. It teaches us that the Father's forgiveness is limitless. It's always there, just waiting for us to come home, no matter what we've done.
In the third truth, it's about finding freedom through trust. This teaching is basically an invitation to let go of all that anxiety we carry around. Faith, in this sense, isn't about believing impossible things. It's a deep trust that there's a loving, divine intelligence at work in the universe. It's permission to just rest, knowing that you're cared for.
So, where does the Father fit into the bigger picture of Christian theology? Well, this is where the Holy Trinity comes in. Now, I know it can sound super complex, but at its heart, it's just a way of understanding one God in 3 unique expressions.
Let's break this down nice and simple. The Father is seen as the ultimate source, right? The origin of everything. The Son, that's Jesus Christ, is the Word made flesh, the divine and human form. And the Holy Spirit is the living, breathing presence of God with us and in the world right now. The key is it's not 3 different gods. It's one divine consciousness, just expressed in 3 ways.
And this brings us out of the world of abstract theology and into something deeply personal. The mystical side of Christianity teaches that the Father isn't some distant being up in the clouds, but a reality you can actually access right here, right now.
This is one of the most powerful things Jesus is said to have taught. And think about it, it completely flips the script. The search for God is no longer a quest for something out there, but a journey in here. It suggests heaven isn't a place you go to when you die, but a state of awareness you can tap into this very moment. The Father is alive within your own consciousness.
And what's really amazing is how this core idea, this single, loving, creative source, isn't just a Christian thing. You see echoes of it across so many of the world's great spiritual traditions. It suggests there's this shared human intuition about how reality works.
I mean, you see this thread pop up everywhere. In Hinduism, you have Brahman, the eternal reality that underlies everything. In Islam, you have Allah, the all-merciful creator. In Taoism, there's the Tao, the nameless origin of all things. The names are different, the philosophies are different, but that core concept of one divine source, that's a common thread.
So, to wrap this all up, the concept of the Father in Christianity is way more than just a picture of a deity. It's a living, breathing metaphor for our own origin story and our deepest identity. It suggests that we all come from a source of infinite love, and that same love is the very essence of who we are.
And in the end, this whole exploration really shifts from being a big theological question to a very personal one. It moves from who is the Father to how do I connect with that source inside me, which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If the divine really is within, where do you even begin to listen?